I know, I'm late. Reality was hitting me too hard in the face. If I knew Photoshop better, all the SIGs on my avatar would be lit by now. But let's try to start this video with a bit of positivity, cause after the intro, it's all downhill. Thank you for the great reception of my first video. If I didn't have to be so busy with corporate shenanigans, I'd definitely put more time into making video or, better content, because this is something I enjoy doing. I wanted to get the video out on Christmas, but my life had other ideas. I spent way too much time dying over and over again just to record the clips for both Sigil 1 and 2. I'm so used to autosaves that I forgot to save my game manually, and it didn't even occur to me until much later on. While the game does have autosave, they take you back to the start of the level, so that doesn't really help much. Saying that out loud makes me feel dumber, but at least it's out of my system now. I was planning to make a mega video with both the episodes in the same video, but at the same time, I don't want the algorithm to forget I exist. So for now, just the first one will have to do. And that, my fellow gamers, is how my stupidity cost me almost 2 weeks when I could have done it in 5 days. I had absolutely zero idea about Sigil, because even though it was released back in 2019, I only played it a couple times. I didn't want to leave the comfort zone of my Doom 2 mods and their accessible fun in a lower difficulty. After finishing Doom 1 UV, I thought, I can beat this. I'll just record footage in a couple of hours and then get to making my video in no time. And that is when I realized that when the father of the FPS genre puts a warning label about the ultra-violence difficulty on the official website, you better listen. While the warning is just for Sigil 2, I'm qualified enough to claim that the first part also deserves it. Anyone who's high off of the adrenaline rush of finishing Doom 1 is gonna head right into Sigil, and it's the same as running into a wall at full speed, head first. After finishing Doom 1 on UV and finding it easier than I thought it would be, it got me thinking, come on man, that's too easy! And after I finished the whole thing, I realized that this is exactly how Mr. Romero trolled everyone after all these years. You thought you were good at Doom? Yeah, right. I know some pro will come into the comment section saying something like, hey, I did Sigil on Nightmare while playing with the Atari 2600 controller. I really don't care. Go away. I play games for fun and a bit of fair challenge, not for intentionally giving myself a seizure. My life does that just fine. But these 2 episodes wrecked me. For me, it wasn't just difficult, it was like an endurance test. If I could upload the entire thing that I captured, which is like almost 6 hours of footage for these 2 episodes, you could see that I was learning as I was moving forward. I die somewhere, I figure out what's going on, I try again. I pass the point and die somewhere else. I die again, and then the cycle continues, repeating itself. I would make a comparison to how that's the same way Dark Souls works, but comparing everything difficult to Dark Souls is a joke that has been way overdone. Both Sigil 1 and 2 have a free version and a paid version. Both the paid versions come with their unique soundtracks and are priced €666, because of course they are. Music for the first Megawatt was created by Buckethead, and Thor did the soundtrack for the second one. There's a free version for both of these episodes, and those are what I used for this whole thing. The soundtrack for the free version of the first episode was done by James Paddock. I couldn't find any wiki information about the second one, so pardon me for that. The official download from Sigil sites includes a text file that includes the plot behind the whole thing. Baphomet was only doing Satan's bidding by placing a powerful sigil in the teleporter out of Ivor M8, so that means thy flesh consumed, which I haven't covered yet, to bring you back to hell. Somehow they didn't understand that you're the reason they failed in the first place. It's time to trash their place with your arsenal, get out of hell and back to earth to face the more advanced demons that were sent ahead. Lock and load, rip and tear. That's the exact same text as the end credits. And what do you mean trashed their place? The only thing that was trashed was my honor and self-confidence. I officially have more footage of me dying than I have of passing each level. If I started making shorts of death compilation from each level, I would have enough shorts for the rest of 2024. I played each map so many times that I discovered multiple secrets on my own by exploring again and again. For being only a 9 map pack, This entire episode wrecked my bottoms with extreme prejudice. Just the names alone of these levels should give you an idea that Sigil is supposed to be. I mean, just look at the name of each level. They're metal as hell. It's like Romero got his hands on a death metal album name generator and just went ham with it. I didn't notice much thematic relevance of the names with the levels because I was too busy surviving, or dying, however you wanna put it. Playing through Sigil was as humbling as Daikatana flopping. The first map starts with you in hell, of course, because here to trash their home, a statement that is about to backfire massively. All the maps are in hell, so it's all just a mix of red and black with a bit of fiery blue in the mix. And right from the start, you'll be introduced to a new way of opening doors and accessing path forward, eye switches. These things are activated when you shoot them. You'll see them frequently, and sometimes they're placed in weird angles inside walls, so it gets tougher to progress when you don't know which wall you should look behind. Another thing you notice right away is that it's pretty dark. And yeah, that's gonna be a constant theme with a few maps as exceptions. And no, turning the brightness of your monitor up to 100 doesn't fix this issue. I have found out the hard way. Do not try this at home. Though this one's on me, cause the modern modded lighting stuff makes everything darker unless there's any kind of light source present right next to that place, and I didn't bother to change any of the GZ Doom settings. The first map will make you fight Keiko demons and barons near the end of the level, and it's a pointer Sigil gives you that it's not gonna be easy. I died a couple times on the second map, Sigil, but I was okay with it. All part of the learning experience, right? This map has a secret right at the start where you get a berserk, but I couldn't remember to use it properly. The map also drops a nice hint of another situation you'll eventually face, slowly chipping away at the health of bigger enemies with just your trusty old shotgun. Sigil teaches you this by making you do that to a Baron of Hell. And notice how I'm barely dodging each projectile as they barely pass by me? Consider this as another tutorial. Unless you become the master of 1-inch dodge, you won't be getting very far in this episode, let alone the second one. Oh, and the second map has a cyber demon as well. Don't think about fighting it, just run and hide. Another thing you don't notice unless you go looking in the OG games are line triggers. Line triggers are when certain things happen when you step into a certain part of the map or a platform. Sigil punishes you by hiding these line triggers under certain pickups sometimes, and these triggers will always open enemy closets, meaning positions where enemies are hidden behind a door and the door opens up when you cross that line. So whenever you're trying to pick up a power-up or a key card, it will mostly result in more enemies appearing. Another great example of line triggers are the end level screens, which end the level when you walk into them. Since I haven't mastered the art of circle strafing yet, I managed to run into the end level portal of map 2 by accident while fighting. Map 3 is where I hit the skill barrier, and so began my circle of death. The map is called Cages of the Damned, and this is where my bad luck began. It's almost like every map with the word damned in the title means that I'm damned as well. I sense a pattern here. This map also introduces you to a new kind of pain, dodging projectiles while being on a narrow ledge. The damned ones in the cage of this map will keep firing at you till you take them all out. You'll never run out of shotgun shells, so fire away. If you see a large group of enemies stranded somewhere and throwing projectiles at you from far away, take them out. No matter how much time it takes, no matter how many shells it takes, or other kind of ammunition it takes. Unless you're sure that you won't be coming back to this place again, take your time to take them out. Why? Because if you don't, your actions will spawn more enemies as the level goes on, while the previous ones are still there, and you're gonna kick the bucket real fast. The lost souls come back with a vengeance in Sigil. They have been carefully placed in the most terrible locations to put you in trouble. You have to time each shotgun blast so you don't get caught in the reload animation when dealing with them. If you want to play it safe, best to use the chain gun, or later the plasma rifle. Or just chainsaw them. Trust me, it works. After dying multiple times, I went through the map all thanks to a complete glitch where I didn't pass the enemy spawn trigger while collecting the red key. I was so shocked that I had to look back because this was just pure luck. It's difficult to the point where I only have a higher chance of survival when I break the game itself. Don't hold down the fire button for the minigun because it makes the weapon more inaccurate. The map ends with a Baron fight, and you can also get a rocket launcher from a secret near the exit. The next map, Paths of Wretchedness, is where I started exploring at the cost of my life to find the optimal route. In Sigil, even the idea of the most optimal route includes sacrificing health point by taking damage intentionally at certain parts to progress. Trying to dodge too much only results in you getting hit by more attacks, so don't try it. See this crusher room? I thought this isn't the way to go since it's a dead end. Anyone who sees this at first will think exactly the same. But the path to progress is through this room. How? You'll see. Now look at this switch. How in the ever-loving heck is someone ever supposed to notice this thing? This is how you raise a bridge to move forward. Though you get a mega sphere from this encounter, the game will make sure that the extra health doesn't last very long. You see this route? This is where one of the key cards are. To be specific, the yellow key card, or should I say the yellow skull key. Regardless of the name, can you tell me where it is? No, it's not at the end of the path. See those branches where it looks like the path is blocked? The yellow key card is in there. And I didn't know that till much later when I was trying to dodge enemy attacks and ran into there after noticing the key card. Back to the crusher room. Remember, which seemed like a dead end? Here's where it clicked in my head that it wasn't before dying right afterwards. This is where the routing comes in. When you're fighting the Baron, you gotta take the invincibility up in the small crusher room so you can get into an even bigger crusher room. The safe spots are marked on the ground, but they're pretty precise, so you gotta watch your step. After multiple retries, I finally got to the end and got the blue key. That one discovery made me go into pro mode for a little bit. I got so good, I didn't even let the Baron come out of his closet. And if you thought that door was leading you to the exit, you haven't been fisted by the level's cruelty yet. What's with all the jokes? Pride Month isn't till June, just hold them till then. Come on, man. Get yourself together. You gotta go past this bridge and fight with a few Barons and Cacos before getting to the exit. I understand the path is supposed to be wretched, but this path drags on a bit too long for my comfort. And that's why Sigil will continue to do the same till the end of the second part. Because the game is a stage and we're the dancing clown puppets, and the puppet master is wheezing in his throne from watching us all suffer. Every time you think you got past a big fight, you'll find another army waiting behind what you think is the exit door. Abaddon's Void is where the game brings back one of the most memorable quirks of Doom, telefragging. For those who don't know, telefragging is when you teleport to the exact location where an enemy is standing and it kills them instantly. It's like a hellish version of Neo and the enemies are the agents. You get the idea. Also, the moment you fire the first shot, you alert all the enemies you see, including the ones you don't see, the cyber demons. Yes, there's 2 of them on each side of the map. And of course, my wary eyes didn't notice them till I was killed by a magic missile. Also, trying to fight them is pointless because you don't have the high ground here and you're a bit short on ammo. Instead, keep progressing through the map to find switches that unlock routes to unlock 2 teleporters. The path isn't gonna be easy though. But you'll get a berserker, and for me, I finally got a proper chance to use the chainsaw. Once you get through all that, you unlock 2 teleporters that were hidden over a high platform. And you entered the teleporters to take care of both the cyber demons. It's really awesome. After getting past the cyber demons, you take the elevator to hell to get rid of more enemies to reach the exit. Oh, did I miss a quick pro tip? Well, here it is. Miniguns are great for stunning enemies. They can't attack you as long as you keep the fire on them. And of course, if they're close enough, don't bother with short controlled bursts. The only thing unspeakable here is the amount of curses I have on my mind from the absolute evil placement of enemies in different places. If I started cursing right now, whoever's the current CEO of YouTube will personally come down from the high heavens of their office and will shut my channel down. This map starts with 3 lost souls and 1 specter to set the mood, and when you try to go ahead a bit further, the map teleports specters behind you along with 1 shotgunner. Because this map is just a cruel joke and you're the punchline. After the Crusher section, this map is the second darkest map in my opinion. Once you get past the usual chicanery of the map, you'll find yourself in a maze and there will be a cyber demon to greet you in that maze because the suffering you received so far isn't enough.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
This is the formula of UV difficulty in Sigil. Barons everywhere, cacos everywhere, and if you come across an open space that is big enough for a cyber demon to move around, there will be one or more of them. To have a better chance of surviving this maze, start by going to the path to the right and hugging the wall till you reach a teleporter, cause then the cyber demon always starts by moving around the left. Once you get past the maze, you can ignore the baron stuck up on the cage, fight the bunch of caco demons in front of the exit, and proceed to the next level. The soundtrack of this map is one of my personal favorites from all the maps. It starts calm, but the unsettling tone is still there, urging you to hurry. The map doesn't seem to be punishing at first, because you only see lower or mid-tier enemies, but the moment you pick up the red key, the map remembers that it has enough open space and brings out a cyber demon. But this time, I was able to fight it from a safe corner and managed to press on. Though I didn't survive later down the line, but I had to share this moment. The map also features some fun stuff with teleporters, where you have semi-hidden teleporters on the bridge that makes you feel like you're fighting and teleporting around places like some cool teleporting ninja. It also features the funniest death in the whole recording session for me. Also, in case you didn't have enough of walking on narrow ledges to get to places, the game brings that back too. But that wasn't evil enough, right? It's just not enough torture, thought the great map maker. So now you get to walk narrow ledges while hugging a wall, while constantly getting attacked by caco demons and lost souls. There's not enough mustache twirling in the world that could signify this much evil, and it just boils my blood. All this because some of you boomers just had to go brag to Romero about how OG Doom was too easy. If I was rich enough to rage by breaking stuff, at least one of my monitors would be gone by that point. And if you notice my health pool, you can see that my health was below 20, and I finished Nightmare Underworld after almost 2 hours of retries with only 5 health points left. And I had the audacity of reaching the final map of this episode with 5 health points. The only reason I believe I got out of this map was luck. I know I sound repetitive, but it is what it is, because I had to try this map for 4 hours. Persisting is useless if the whole thing is designed to just fuck you over. And since I reached the final map with 5 health points, you can imagine how the beginning was for me. The end of this map has, as the name suggests, a hallway that contains a spider mastermind and a cyber demon at the same time. I didn't know you could run to the exit by avoiding them both, but since I was too arrogant to do it, I kept retrying over and over. Till I remembered one of my own tips. The damage of the BFG goes to the direction you're moving while firing it. So learning to angle it properly and moving to the right direction when firing the weapon can be quite effective. And with that, I finally managed to take them both down and head to the exit. And of course, we get the classic cutscene alternative, flavor text. Oh, and this episode has a lesson to teach you too. Moral of the episode, never get too overconfident in life. No matter how skilled you think you are, it'll cost you. And with that lesson, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. And I know I'm late. I'm sorry about that. Or am I? Merry Christmas either way.